don't want like the whole thing recorded because we're going to do a little bit of work at the end. But this is for anybody who didn't get a chance to catch that coach, Brian Fryer, the extra thing, like he sold his ICA workshop. So ICA stands for your ideal client avatar. And basically what Coach Fryer, that's what his name, Coach Fryer came in, Daryl Lynn brought him into the Gummy Gang. He did a training with us. I believe that's posted in the Gummy Gang still. So if you want to go back and watch that one, you totally can. It's chock full of powerful information. He sells a course. I bought the course. Kim bought the course too. She's watched the whole thing. I've only watched the first episode. That's okay.
Nice.
I have to rewatch and rewatch and rewatch in order for things to get into my head. So I am going to share with you guys. And Kim, I'm actually going to welcome you. Carla, do you mind muting, please?
Oh, my bad.
I am going to go ahead and share with you my notes, and then Kim, I'm going to welcome you to add anything to it since you have actually already watched this training, and I think that, you know, you're very knowledgeable as well. But just to kind of get us going, I'm going to go over again what this whole ICA thing. I tried, my printer's broken, y'all. Let me minimize my screens around here. Okay. All right. So it's not a really long thing, and then I'm gonna give us some questions. But so, all right, so your ICA is your ideal client avatar. So first off, what is an ideal client avatar, right? Your ideal client avatar is going to be a detailed profile of an imaginary yet realistic, right? Like this person is going to be realistic. We're not talking like you're making up a fairy somewhere, right? Like you just haven't met this person yet, basically. It's a person that you're going to create that's going to represent your ideal customer. So the perfect customer out there for you to purchase your products. Who is that person? You're probably like, I don't really know. Well, that's the purpose of this training is we are going to figure that out. That way you are not doing what we would call spaghetti marketing, which is kind of throwing things at the wall until they stick. We really want to figure out who it is we're talking to. And this person might change. You might be talking to somebody different when you're talking about OTMP versus Vibe High, but it's very important to get that person in your head, who it is you're talking to, even give them a name. That way, you know that when you make a video, you're trying to address Gina. Okay. Like Gina is going to be my name for my person that I want to work with me. Cause I'm gonna be like, damn, Gina, like, come on, can't you come watch my shit? Like, I just think it'd be funny that it's gonna, so anyways, that's me. Y'all don't steal my name, but Gina is going to be, oh my gosh, my worker avatar. I got to come up with my name for my like person who's going to buy from me. But anyways, okay. So you guys are going to want sorry, Macy, if you don't mind muting when you hop on. Sorry, I don't have the capabilities, and Darnell's grabbing a notebook. But so if you don't
Sorry, I
want
thought I was muted.
you're good. If you want to grab a notebook, just so you guys can maybe jot down some ideas here, and then at the end, we're going to work on things. But all right. This person isn't real, but you are going to want to imagine that this person is going to be coming over, sitting down, and having coffee at your house. That's how clear you should be able to see who they are. You want to know what job they have. You want to know if they have kids. You want to know how old their kids are. You want to know if they're married. You want to know how much time they have. If this is their break on Tuesday, what they're doing on Sunday, right? Like all of these things we're going to figure out about who this person is that we're talking to. This person is going to want and need your products or services. So you're also going to love working with this person. Okay. You don't want an ICA person that you're not going to want to work with. You're not going to say, well, I want a lady with a bunch of money that's going to constantly complain about her products, right? Like you don't want that. We want to find the people that got a bunch of money that just love our products off the jump, right? We don't want those people who are whatever. We're self-righteous or
No high maintenance people.
no high maintenance. There you go. Thank you. We don't want high maintenance people whenever it comes to our customers, or even maybe, you know, our rock stars that work with us. Who knows? Maybe you want a high maintenance rock star that kind of keeps you on your toes. That way, hey, I wouldn't mind somebody being on top of me a little bit more sometimes. I'm waiting for the hubby to chime in.
That's what I'm for.
Thanks, Skip. Okay, so who do you want to work with every single day? This is the people we want, right? Your ICA, this is what you're thinking of, these questions. So for the intent of this particular training, right, whenever we're going to go through and figure it out, we're going to think of one person. So try to think. Right now, this is a rock star push. So I think we should be thinking of the people we want to be our rock stars for the end of this, okay? Because that's going to make us the most points for cruises and that sort of thing. But you might want to come back and do this training again for your ideal client. So why do we want an ideal client avatar? You want one because you're not going to cast a wide net if you have one. Having a client avatar is going to allow us to fine tune our message to find the people that want our products and needs. This is going to be done a couple of different ways because you're going to say keywords that are going to tip off the algorithm because they've already said things in their phone's presence, and somehow that stuff works in the scenes, and we're just going to show up in the right people's feeds. We're going to trust it. We're going to throw it into the universe that it's going to happen as long as we're using the right CEOs and we are being very specific with the people that we are trying to find, right? So you're going to need a fine-tuned message for this. And you're going to know that somebody is going to relate to it. And those people are the ones that we want. We don't care about the other ones. Okay. If you are trying to talk to people who want a business, we don't care if the people scroll past that don't want a business because we don't really even care. I mean, we kind of care if they were to watch our videos. So you might want to make them funny so you get the views, right? But like ideally, we need the people who actually want a new business there. But you might want to be able to, this is how we're going to vocalize it to the right ones. Okay, so your content, if you do this, is going to sound a lot more personalized because you are actually specifically going to be talking to one person instead of an entire room of people. So when you come across that person's feed, it's going to seem like you're sitting down with a conversation to them. You're going to know exactly what compels this person. So you should have sat and thought about your rock star to the point that you know what drives them. Is your rock star driven by money? Or are they driven by the fact that they want fame? Do they want to go viral? Do they want, to change people's lives one person at a time based off educating them on something? What is the thing that is going to drive the person that you're speaking to? And you need to speak to that pain point and to that aspect of what they are trying to find. If you're trying to find people that are money hungry, you want to talk about the money. If you're going to try to find people that are going to be compassionate for others, you have to talk about your compassion and how this job shows and can be able to be a vehicle for them to show people compassion, right? Okay. So you're going to know the tics of these people and also how to solve their problems. We're going to want our message to be clear. I'm sorry, when your message is unclear and diluted, it lacks relevance because you're trying to attract everyone, right? So that's the difference here. You can have a very specific message to a targeted group of people.
I think that point either you or Callie made the other day, by trying to attract everyone, you end up attracting no one.
Yes. That's actually one of the next lines here, but yes, that's where I got it from, was this training. It was something that like just really stuck out to me that he said. So it says, when you don't have an ICA, your message lacks clarity and it tends to be watered down. You'll change what you say because you're afraid you're going to offend somebody. Anybody done that? I know I have. I know I've recorded pieces of what I've said, or I've typed certain things and then straight up backspaced it because I was like, no, because if this person reads it, they're going to think I'm talking to them and I don't want to piss anybody off, right? Don't do that. People, what they take from your words is totally on them. It's totally, your words are just words. Their perception of it is a reflection of what they are seeing in that moment. Done. So stop double and second guessing yourself. I'm talking to myself here. All right. So your message won't be relevant to your audience if you don't have an ICA. An ICA, it's called spaghetti marketing, right? So that's what happens whenever you just cast this wide net. And as the saying goes, when you try to attract everyone, you attract no one. So that was the thing. I don't know if it was exactly how I said it yesterday, but that was the note that I had. Okay, so how are we going to create an ideal, perfect client avatar? You are going to write out a very detailed story or list about who this ICA is. Lucky for you, I have questions that I copied from Coach Fryer. We're just going to say thank you, Coach Fryer. And I'm sure if we found them online, you could find them online, but I'm just going to drop them in the chat in a second. So if you want to, you can write it out in a paragraph form. Sometimes people reading a paragraph form, reading it in story form really helps people like get in character. So you could read this little story about your person every time before you made your video. That way you knew exactly who you were talking to. But maybe you make a list. That's fine. Read your detailed list of who you're talking to every time before you make a video. That way you're always talking to that same person, right? It needs to be a long list with a lot of details because we're really trying to paint a picture in our head here. If you're struggling with like what this looks like, think about who your favorite customer is right now. Maybe you can model it after them. Think about who your favorite rock star is, or who the favorite person is that you might want to be a rock star, who your favorite rock star in this company is that you might want if you were like, man, but if only they were under me, that would be amazing. Who knows? Maybe it's Dawn. Maybe it's Dara Lynn. You want a Dawn and a Dara Lynn on your team? That's fine. Say it, and pick out some qualities about that person and write them down as far as something that you want in a person that's on your team. Do you want somebody charismatic with a Mississippi accent? Maybe. She reels people right on in. I tell you what, right? Like, so, all right. Some of your, sometimes we can also model these ICAs after ourselves. Do you want more of you on your team? I know I do. I would love to find more people that have a heart like me. I think I have so far. Yeah. Here, thank you. And I really would love to find more of them. So, hey, maybe you model your ICA after somebody that's like you. Maybe you want to find more people who understand seizures that are on your team, Kim, I don't know, but hey, it could be a thing. Oh my gosh, only because you have the type of humor. Wouldn't it be funny if your team name had something to do with like seizing in a way? Like if you had like a whole team of like people that you helped from that. What do you seize the day? See, I knew you would get it. That's too great. Thank you. Okay. So if you want to get even more detailed, what are your ICA's problems, right? Are they sleeping at night? Are they stressed? Do they need more money? Are they unhappy with their job? Are they in pain? All of these sort of things are things you can ask yourself. And those are all things that we have products that can solve, right? So like you can formulate questions to where you can start to tell people about the solution that you have to the problem that they have rather than actually talking about the product itself. And it no longer becomes salesy. It then becomes that you're informative because you have a piece of information that is going to help them. See the difference? It's a slight tweak, but I feel like it's going to make a world of difference whenever we all start getting on this, because I also need to start implementing this too. I feel like I do sometimes, but I've never had it put in such a fantastic way as this. So, all right, how do those problems affect their day-to-day lives, and what can you do that's going to make it easier? Why do they want a solution? And what are their needs and goals? Okay. So there was a piece that like at this point in time in the training, he had taken questions from the audience. So that's our ICA training, but I did definitely want to share with you this little piece of something that he said. Somebody had asked, how can I talk about the product without showing the product? And this is going to be coming kind of important for us because right now you're getting flagged if you show capsules on TikTok, right? Like your video is not going anywhere if you're showing the actual pill right now, probably. Only because I don't know, because it's showing it as a drug or whatever, then it doesn't want us doing that. So that's fine. But now we've got to get a little bit smarter. So what we do is, and this is a perfect situation, right? This hit really hard. You're a potential like customer. They don't care what your product is. And this is a fact. All right. Because people who need to lose weight and who are willing to take those injections and things like that, they don't care. I mean, not like that, but they don't care if it was an injection, if it's a pill they got to take, if it's a drink they got to do. They don't care. The thing that they want is they want to lose the weight. You have to tell them how you can help them lose the pounds. That is what's going to get them in. It doesn't matter what it is that you have. You don't have to show the thing. It doesn't matter what they're taking. It just matters that what you have is effective for them. The ingredients don't matter. The flavor probably doesn't matter to it. But when you market it, I'm sorry, because when you market it that way, sometimes it can come across as salesy, and it can. Sometimes, product info is informative, but when you just rattle off a list of ingredients, that does sound a little salesy, right? When you're like, my Vibe High and Chill has CBD, CBG, magnesium, GABA, L-theanine, ashwagandha, and people are like, what? Like by the time you get to the third one, they're looking at each other like, do we really need to know what are these things? What do they do for me? Because most, the average person doesn't know. So what they want to know is it going to help them get their life back on track? Okay. Are those little pink capsules that I'm talking about going to help them stop yelling at their kids and snapping on their husband? Are they going to stop having road rage? Are they going to, not feel back pain whenever they're sitting there washing their dishes? Are they going to be able to get up the floor easier or walk up the stairs without their legs cracking and knees cracking and all that? Yeah. So I'm going to talk about that because what they want to know is what it's going to do for them. Generic information contributes to the value and it becomes across as a different story. So I hope that was valuable. Anybody have any questions? I'm going to go ahead and drop these questions for your brain jogger questions in the chat. And what I would like for us to do is to take the next 10 minutes, maybe, if you've already done your reach outs, take the next 10 minutes to do this. If you have already done this, then great. If you don't do this tonight, I would like for us to do it tomorrow and actually be able to make videos with these things next week. So in our little runners chat that we're doing or whatever, or Vanessa, I think you're the only one here right now who's not directly in that chat, but we're basically just we're just a little push chat. So whenever you make your videos, like you'll be making your TikToks as if you're talking to your ICA this coming up week. That's what I would like to do this training for. So any questions?
ICA stands for what again?
Ideal client avatar.
Ideal client avatar. And
Ideal
this is
customer
what,
avatar, if you wanted to.
and this is what you're telling us to do, make up a name. So when we're doing like our live stories or like we're talking into the camera, pretend like we're talking to them.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
So like
okay.
that way it's not as daunting to be like, well, what do I say? Well,
I know,
pretend
right?
as if, Gina's going to come back and watch this video a little later on. What are you going to say to Gina? Right. But like, so then, or whatever your person's name is. And I think it'd be totally fun if we all have great names. You can use my name if you want to. It's fine. But that's why it came to me, because I was like, ooh, Friday. Just kidding. I think, a lot of people know the reference to Friday. So like, duh, it's just going to hopefully it'll get people. Okay. All right. You can, I guess if nobody else has any questions, you can go ahead and stop us recording, Darnell. That way it's just like a short thing and we can all talk. That way we